Hello everybody, I'm Bob and this is Thailand. Today I asked the question, does Thailand hate big bikes? Stick around, we'll find out. First let's start off with the definition of big bike. For you or me, I generally think that a bike with 900, 1200, something like that size engine is a big bike. This Honda 500 that I drive, in my opinion, isn't, but it does qualify as a big bike according to the laws of Thailand. Now, I first began to suspect that Thailand didn't like big bikes last New Year's. They banned big bikes from the national park, citing noise. Now, I'm not a legislator or a professor or anything like that, but it seems to me that instead of banning big bikes because they make more noise, which isn't true, I've heard 110s make more noise than some big bikes that have legal mufflers. So Thailand's approach was to ban all of them, all big bikes in the national park. Make more sense if they banned motorcycles that don't have legal mufflers and they're making a bunch of noise, whether they're big bikes or small. As a wildlife photographer at times, the last thing I need is a loud muffler, because every time I reach a clearing where I am, all I see is the tail end of animals disappearing into the woods. So I have to be quiet, and I just don't see why they don't judge the bike by the noise it makes when you come to the national park entrances. But my point is, they picked on big bikes and are punishing some people who haven't done anything wrong. Does that sound loud to you? Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about the national parks thing. The article I read this morning seemed to think that there had been several high-profile big bike crashes in Bangkok, and the blame game has started, and it seems that the big bikes are what they're trying to blame for the problem. I was pretty shocked when I was having dinner with my girlfriend's son and one of his friends, and the friend told me he had just moved up from a 110 scooter to a 1000 RR Honda. I don't know how that's been going, but it seemed like a pretty big jump to me. Now, I have to mention that there's a distinct lack of riders wearing helmets in Thailand. There is a distinct lack of guardrails in some of the most precipitous, some of the most precipitous curves in the country, and there is no limit to how old you have to be to operate a scooter. So those are some things that have to play into this. It's not just the size of the bike. Now, certainly I agree that some amount of preparation is required to get on a big horsepower bike. And I don't know if there are any driving schools in Thailand or not. I'll look that up and put it in the description, but I can't say whether they're here or not. I'm pretty sure there's no California big bikes operation here. So they are talking about changing the age limit for a big bike and several other stopgap measures, but I don't know that it's going to make a lot of difference, because the number of people driving without a helmet or a license here is amazing. Up until recently, I say recently, probably 15 years, there just weren't any big bikes in Thailand, and it was totally a scooter culture. We still get segregated when we park. And as this sign says, normal motorcycle park, one might begin to think that they're actually saying big bikes are abnormal. To a degree in Thailand, they are. Now, Thailand is a two-wheel culture. There's rarely anybody in this whole country that hasn't ridden scooters or motorcycles at some point of their life, and most of them still do. In my condo on any given morning, there's at least 120 motorcycles and scooters in the resident parking. In addition to the people who own motorcycles, I would not be surprised if there weren't over 1,000 motorcycle rentals here in Chiang Mai. It is ironic to note this misspelling of the word motorcycle introduces the word mort. That is the word for death in many languages all the way back to Latin. If anyone thought I was exaggerating when I said there might be 1,000 rentals in Chiang Mai, the three I've shown you are all within the distance one can throw a baseball from my condo. Seriously, there may be more massage parlors, but I don't think so. Another problem area, having nothing to do with big bikes, is poorly designed intersections with no traffic control. With traffic coming from 4 directions and U-turns allowed, many accidents happen here. Well, thanks for watching. Don't be shy about subscribing. We'd like to see you around. We do things on motorcycle vloggery, temples, beaches, wild animals, and even Thai marijuana laws. Recreational is not okay here. Medical is. So whatever your interests are, I cover a lot of topics from the tropics and would love to see you around. Have a great weekend.